Straight ahead on 12 News, something that doesn't mix out on the water and has authorities out in force. Plus,
gotta face the fact, you're my only friend, boo.
A Brooklyn Center student takes the stage for one magical summer. But first, a debate that affects millions of college students in financial need. 12 News starts right now. It's one of the more heated debates in Washington this year, the price of a federal student loan.
The interest rate on government-backed student loans is set to double on Monday, and 12 News reporter Carissa Wyant shows us how the debate has many local students in our area feeling stressed.
Administrators and students at Hennepin Technical College in Brooklyn Park know education is important.
You are much less likely to be unemployed if you have even a two-year college degree.
And that how you pay for education is equally as important.
You want to go to school and follow your dreams. And if it's too expensive, you are going to persuade a lot of people not to go.
On Monday, interest rates on federal Stafford loans, the most popular form of college funding, will increase from 3.4 to 6.8%. College administrators say that with the rate hike, obtaining an education may become more difficult for students, particularly those from modest means.
It will double the interest rate on the loans offered to, frankly, the most needy students at Hennepin Tech. So those with the lowest incomes and most in need of need-based financial assistance.
Democrats want to keep the rates at 3.4%, while Republicans want to float the rates on the market, starting out at 5% and capping them at 8.5%.
It's pretty easy to get a student loan, and increasing the interest rate on paying them back is going to kind of suck.
6.8% is more than you're paying for a mortgage or quite often a car at this point. So it will be a significant impact.
Many are saying that Congress deserves an F for failing to act. They can still pass retroactive legislation after July 1st stopping the rate hike, but not without causing significant stress to students. In Brooklyn Park, Carissa Wyant, 12 News.
The rate increase will affect an estimated 7 million students who plan to take or renew student loans after July 1st. It could force those students to pay almost $4,000 in additional interest payments over a 10-year period.
A former Brooklyn Park post office employee has admitted to embezzling thousands of dollars in postal funds. Kathleen Warner of Otsego told authorities that she incorrectly recorded cash sales of postage stamps for extra money. She also admitted to taking funds from the cash drawer. Warner's actions were discovered on a surveillance camera. The embezzlement added up to more than $10,000. Warner faces up to 10 years in prison for the crimes.
It's a busy summer for road construction, and there will be more obstacles for motorists on Highway 169 this weekend. It actually begins Friday night at 9 as MnDOT will close southbound lanes on Highway 169 between Brooklyn Park and Golden Valley. MnDOT suggests using I-94, 494, and Highway 100 as alternates. The lane should reopen by 5 a.m. Monday, but that won't be the end of it. This is a stretch of highway that will see more closures later on this summer. And here's a reminder, if you have boating plans on Medicine Lake this weekend, because of the high water levels, the Sheriff's Office is enforcing a no-wake order. You can see how fast the water is pouring out of Medicine Lake. The no-wake order is in effect until further notice. Officials say it helps protect the shoreline when water levels are unusually high. The heavy lifting continues in Plymouth, where trees in many neighborhoods were destroyed by last weekend's storms. The city is now grinding up those trees that were dropped off this week. 2 temporary sites are now closed, but the regular yard waste site on 23rd Avenue will be open every day for the next week. And that includes Monday and Tuesday when they're normally closed, and they'll be open on the 4th of July. Well, this coming week marks the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg.
The Civil War battle is often described as the war's turning point, and a group of Minnesotans played an important role. Minnesota was the first state to offer volunteer troops to President Lincoln. 262 men from Minnesota faced a brigade of up to 1,500 Confederate soldiers at Gettysburg, and 2 out of 3 Minnesotans were killed or wounded in the battle. Next week, Daryl Sanis of Brooklyn Center is helping to lead a contingent of 90 Minnesotans on a trip to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to mark the 150th anniversary. Also rededicate several monuments, and they'll retrace the steps of the 1st Minnesota Regiment.
Well, the Civil War was probably the most important event that took place in U.S. history, and everything is measured before the Civil War and after the Civil War. So to really understand the history of our country and where we're at today, you need to understand the Civil War and what happened.
The Minnesota group heading to Gettysburg will include Secretary of State Mark Ritchie and Congresswoman Betty McCollum. Up next, Magic Mystery and a Message.
We will preview Aladdin Jr. next in Weekend Showcase. Then later in sports, we'll hear from some local high school all-star football players about the importance of winning Saturday's game.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast.
She's 84 years old, and she figures she's probably sold millions of Pulltabs in Robbinsdale over the past 17 years.
Tonight will be Betty Dehar's final night after selling pull-tabs and running the meat raffle since 1996 at the Eagle's Nest at Broadway Pizza in Robbinsdale. Dehar and her daughter and her granddaughter, 3 generations side by side, all work the charitable gambling booth for the Northeast Lions Club. The 84-year-old says she loves watching people win, but the best part of the job is all the people that she's met.
They're all my friends after 17 years. They come back and see me if they move out of state, and they come back in and say, "Are you still here, Betty?"
They are having a send-off for Betty tonight. She says she feels good about all the Robbinsdale organizations that have been helped by the Lions pull-tab sales, and she might now look for some volunteer work. In our weekend showcase, a play by young actors with young fans and their families in mind.
Disney's Aladdin Jr. opens Friday night at the Stages Theater in Hopkins. You'll recognize the characters, including Aladdin, who's played by a student from Brooklyn Center. If you have kids, chances are you already know the magical story about Aladdin.
I'm hungry, I'm miserable, and my life is like one bad drink.
It's the Disney story of a street rat who falls in love with a princess and pretends to be a prince to get her attention.
Most guys don't appreciate I'm broke.
There's singing, lots of dancing, and a lot of it happens very fast. Just ask Andrew Moy of Brooklyn Center, who plays the lead role and leads one song called One Jump Ahead.
Gotta throw my hand in, wish me happy landing, all we gotta do is jump. So yeah, it's very, very, very fast throughout the whole thing.
Andrew says Aladdin Jr. is probably the biggest role in his young career, and until now, he viewed singing and dancing in a different light.
I never really thought of myself as like a professional dancer and singer, but I don't know. After doing the show, maybe I can think of myself, this is the next step.
17 young cast members between the ages of 10 and 17 recreate the unlikely love story.
They breathe life into those caricatures from the Disney musical. However, it's all the music they know, all the characters they love.
There's so much involved in the show, special effects, and I mean, all the music is just fun. It makes you want to get off your seat and dance.
Any predictions about Princess Jasmine's future husband?
Grant Cohen is a 12-year-old actor from Plymouth who plays one of the narrators, and although he's seen the movie, he'll tell you the play is better.
The play is so much more involving. I mean, the audience is involved in, the music and, the dance numbers are just big and bold.
And there's a message that still resonates with this young cast, one they hope more young audiences will embrace this summer.
Aladdin wants to be Prince Ali to get Jasmine, but at the end, he realizes, he wants to be himself. He needs to be himself. So stick true to yourself.
The play runs now through August 4th at the Hopkins Center for the Arts. You can call them for ticket information. The number is on the screen. It runs about an hour, and they say it is suitable for all ages. Coming up, how families in Plymouth are getting a jump on the 4th of July.
But first in sports, Providence Academy and Champlin score big wins in American Legion baseball. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
Booze and boating don't mix. That message from law enforcement officials who will be out in full force this weekend looking for impaired boaters.
They are calling it Operation Dry Water, and as Sonia Goen shows us, it's a much bigger problem than you might think.
This is Lake Minnetonka, one of the most popular lakes for boating in the state, for pleasure boating and as well as fishing.
It's windy and the water is choppy. That didn't stop some people from getting a jump start on the weekend.
On summer weekends, it gets very busy. Hundreds and hundreds of boats will be out using this.
The lake is also a popular party spot.
There's a lot of alcohol use on this lake. It's known as a party lake. People use it as such.
Not to rock the boat, but this weekend, the DNR and other agencies will be on the lookout for impaired boaters.
Get the message out that abuse of alcohol and drugs on the water is not going to be accepted and tolerated.
Last year, there were 158 people arrested for BWI in Minnesota.
I think it's around 90% were written in Hennepin County, and the largest portion of that right here on Lake Minnetonka.
They have several clues that someone has been drinking.
People start drinking, they get loud, they get obnoxious sometimes. There may be some alcohol containers visible in the boat.
Officials also check for speeding and other violations.
The guy in the maroon shorts was driving before. That's a clue. Anytime the boat is underway, you can't have anybody outside the railings. He does not have a life jacket.
Boating while intoxicated is not only a bad idea and against the law, but it can also affect your driver's license.
Driving privileges can be suspended and revoked.
On Lake Minnetonka, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Get this, a first-time violation is a misdemeanor, up to 90 days in jail and up to a $1,000 fine. Multiple violations and a driver could lose their boat.
And we turn our attention now to sports. John Jacobson is here. We were talking the All-Star football game.
Coming up Saturday afternoon, the final week of preparation has gone in, and now they're ready to play the game. It is their final game representing their high schools for players in the Minnesota High School All-Star football game Saturday. After seeing half-speed NFL Pro Bowl games, as well as no defense allowed NBA and NHL All-Star games, we wondered how serious do high school players treat a game like this? And does winning matter to our local All-Stars?
Definitely. I always want to win. I don't compete to lose, so definitely winning is important.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we want to. Coach Lundin said he's 1-0 in his total career for this game, so we want to send him out with a 1,000 record.
I mean, yeah, we're definitely taking it pretty serious. We want to win for sure. The other team really wants to win too. I mean, we have a mutual respect for each other that obviously we're not going to, try to hurt each other or anything like that. But we're definitely coming to win, and it's going to be a good game.
The All-Star football game is Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock at St. Cloud State's Husky Stadium. You can watch the replay Sunday night at 8:30 here on Channel 12. Providence Academy has enjoyed success in recent seasons in baseball. The Providence American Legion team looked to score a third straight win Thursday in their Wright County League game against Howard Lake. First inning, Providence Will Wade grounds a single into right field. Max Baird and Ryan Tappany both score, and it's 3-0 Providence. Second inning, check out the catch in left field by Howard Lake's Peter Zander. He takes an extra base hit away from Max Baird. Tappany pitches well for Providence. He gets the inning-ending strikeout as they hold a 3-0 lead. Fourth inning, Wade rips one down the line and right, and that one is trouble. Max Baird and Joe Baird score on Wade's triple. Providence Academy goes on to score a 7-1 win over Howard Lake. Also in Legion baseball, Maple Grove hosted Champlin Park in North Hennepin League action. Matt Smith slices a hit the opposite way down the line for Champlin. Daniel Kield comes in to score, and they grab a 1-0 lead in the top of the first. Second inning, Maple Grove takes the lead. Austin Bees chops it off the plate. Blake Whitecotton comes in to score for a 2-1 lead. Third inning, Champlin regains the lead. Kield with a fly ball. It's deep enough to score Calvin Spencer. A throwing error on the play also allows Bryce Marquardt to score, and it's 3-2 Rebels. Ahead of the sixth inning with Maple Grove trailing 4-3, Nate Erickson's hard bouncer gets away at short and into center field. 2-run score. Maple Grove takes the lead back at 5-4. Champlin, though, isn't done. In top of the seventh, Kiel at the plate. He hits a sacrifice fly to bring Marquardt home with the tying run. It's a 5-5 ball game as they go back and forth. Bottom of the seventh, a close one is Whitecotton's liner to center. Caught on a great diving effort by Michael Brooks, and we are headed to extra innings. And in the top of the ninth, Champlin erupts. Trevor Kaminsky singles to score Ryan Ross. They get 6 runs in the inning and win it 11-5. As the end of June nears, we're well into the regular season and summer fast-pitch softball leagues. Champlin Park paying a visit to the Osseo-Maple Grove Storm and U14 girls play. Top of the first, Riley Hewsome delivering a base hit for Champlin. Taylor Gakeen scores. It's 1-0. Top of the second, the Rebels put together a 2-out rally. Haley Mazzei's base hit scores Megan Shuck. It's a double for Mazzei. Then Hewsome's fly ball drops for a hit. Taylor Sloter scores for a 4-0 Rebels lead. The Storm gets a couple of runs back, one here on the hit by Taylor Wente. Leah Peterson scores in the play, but Champlin Park holds on for the win in Game 1 of a doubleheader, 4-2 the final. Game 2, the Storm starts quickly. Aaron Rolls' hit drops just fair. Shea Matu scores. It's 2-0 in the top of the first. Third inning, April Jacobs rips a shot down the left field line, and that hit scores 2 to give OMG a 5-0 lead. The Storm goes on to win at 5-2, and they get a split of their doubleheader. Nice night for a couple of ball games.
I like
there.
that way.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, parade season in full sway.
From Plymouth to Brooklyn Center, we capture some of the sights and sounds when we come back. That's the Park Center Marching Band leading the way in the Earle Brown Days Parade last night. The festival continues Saturday at Centennial Park, starting with a kids fishing contest. Then in the evening, Saturday night, a jazz band concert topped off by fireworks at 10 o'clock. Good weather for all of that, we hope. In Plymouth, kids and their families are getting a jump on the 4th of July.
A patriotic parade featuring dozens of kids in strollers, on bikes with training wheels, and on scooters made their way around the Hilday Performance Center. Most are decked out with American flags, as you can see, for the second annual Happy Birthday America Parade. The celebration continues on Saturday at the Hilday Center as runners take off at 8 a.m. for the Music in Plymouth 5K. And then that big event's coming up on Tuesday.
Tuesday, Music in Plymouth, not too far away.
What's
what's happened to summer?
That's exactly
Wow.
right. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Stay with us. Community Corner is coming up next. Have a great weekend.